Alright, hello everybody. Today we are going to be reviewing, uh, phew, that was bad timing for the Netflix thing to go off, hey? But today we are going to be reviewing a movie called He's All That, which is I guess a remake of the 1999 film She's All That, but, I don't know, this one was kind of, I guess, supposed to be like the new age version of it, right? So I suppose there was a few things that they changed about it anyway. Not really though, because I did go back and watch the original one, She's All That, last night actually, and I suppose they kind of followed the same sort of storyline, but a little different. Uh, so in this one, the yeah, I wouldn't really say either movie was really based off of like the person's looks wise. It was more kind of almost social status than anything else. Um, because yeah, like I don't know. It seemed like in this one they were really trying to make it based off of looks, and then they go, nah. Um, One of the guys was creating his own app, and the other guy was going off to, oh God, wherever he was going off to. I can't even remember, but yeah, it seemed like they weren't picking the guy based off of looks, but more on social status, and yeah, like the guy that she ends up picking is already not a bad looking guy, right? So it doesn't even matter. Like at that point, you're literally just kind of turning him into like the popular kid, even though he doesn't want to be, and he seems like the kind of shut in type person. I guess they lost their. Did they? I guess they lost both their parents. Yeah. So they're living with their grandmother, or I guess more in the sense that I think it was that they lost both their parents. Or no, I guess their dad lives in a different country. Right, their dad lives in a different country, and I think they lost their mother, was the thing. Yes, that was it, because then he finds. So Addison Rae's character is a makeup artist who is working for this woman before we get into everything else that I'm going to talk about. Jessica Miles Torres, who was played by Kourtney Kardashian. I was like, she looks really familiar. They all look so similar now that I can't even hardly tell them apart at this point because just the amount of plastic surgery they've gotten, they all kind of look the same. I thought it was Kim, to be honest with you. I was like, oh my God, Kim Kardashian's in this movie, so I guess she's making the big bucks in Hollywood now with all the other YouTube stars. And then Matthew Lillard played the principal. Um, oh yeah. So Addison Rae played Paget Sawyer. Tanner Buchanan played Cameron Queller. Oh my God, what a name. Madison Pettis played Alden, and Peyton Mayer played Jordan Van Draen, or Dranen, I guess was how you pronounce it. And who else? Myra Molly played Quinn, who was the other friend. And I guess that was pretty much it for like main cast. So yeah, so they basically it's the same sort of concept. They make this bet that she can't take uh, after she finds her boyfriend cheating on her because he's trying to make a music career. So this Jordan guy has cheated on her, so she breaks up with him, obviously live on camera for all her viewers to see, and then she loses followers, so she loses her sponsorship with her makeup company, and then she has to prove that she can somehow find somebody uh, to turn her career around, basically. So her friend Alden, or her so-called friend Alden, I guess you could say, makes the bet with her that she can't get a guy in the school to do a makeover on to turn him around into basically prom king. Which, I mean, we already know her makeup skills from her makeup tutorials at the beginning of the movie, so we know she's pretty good, so she can probably pull it off anyway. So she finds this guy, Cameron, and his younger sister. Oh yes, his younger sister was Bryn Queller, played by Isabel Crovetti. Wow, these, woo. So after she breaks up with her original boyfriend, her mother's kind of, I guess, happy about it because I think she sees that she probably deserves better than that guy, obviously, who ends up, um, who ends up trying to hook up with Cameron's younger sister at a party that Paget invites Cameron and his sister to, and this is after they've already made the bet, so she's already kind of done the makeover at this point when she takes him to the party, and of course oh my god, when Bryn comes back out and says what happened between her and Jordan, uh, a fight breaks out between Cameron and Jordan, and I guess clearly we don't know much about Cameron's backstory, so it appears that he has some pretty good fighting skills, but my sister also told me that he was on Cobra Kai, which I haven't seen yet. I know I'm behind on that front, but yeah, apparently he was on Cobra Kai, so I guess they probably just used that skill and took it over to that movie to make him look like the kind of mysterious type guy, which I guess is why maybe, um, Paget ended up actually falling for him in the end because he turned out to actually be a good guy. And then, of course, the whole thing where they find out, because then Alden betrays her and starts dating Jordan and tries to make a run to be prom queen herself. And then I think she loses to some random girl in the school that you only see a couple of times, one of the gothic girls. So I guess everybody didn't even bother voting for the two popular ones. They voted for somebody else. I guess that was kind of a, yeah, I don't really know what that was, why they would have voted for her, but hey, people did, so I guess that was kind of a throw off to the movie. And I mean, the acting wasn't horrible, it's just this movie wasn't really well written, I wouldn't say. Um, Now, I guess the final message in the movie about, like, when Paget gets up and does her speech or whatever, and she says about that you shouldn't lie about your where you live or so on and so forth, because I guess she's actually poor, and that's why Alden betrayed her, which is kind of a shitty thing to do. Like, if it's your friend, it's your friend. It shouldn't, right? Like, this whole movie was just based off of, like, who has the best social status, and everybody was competing for that, and obviously some some of the kids were more privileged than the others. Clearly, like Alden, who just absolutely takes her friend and tries to destroy her life. Um, but I guess everything works out in the end because Bryn, Cameron's little sister, again says that he can't lose Paget, because for her, I guess it's like because they're a little older. I guess Paget reminds them. Um, Paget reminds them a lot of her mother. So she says, "Don't lose her," because it's like it's like having mom back almost, I guess, in a sense. Um, so Cameron decides that he's gonna give Paget a second chance even after everything that's happened. And then she gives a message about, not basing your life off of social status and so on and so forth. You should just be the true you, sort of thing. So, I mean, the ending message in the movie was good, despite the movie not being necessarily the greatest. And yeah, it just seems like if you're supposed to be taking the least attractive guy in school and not basing it off social status, the other two guys would have been a better choice. But I guess for the sense of this movie, obviously they're probably going to, not take the least attractive guy. So they took him because it was more based on social status and him not having any type of like Facebook, Instagram, like Twitter, whatever. Um, yeah, so there was really no way to contact him. So I guess he was the mysterious type. So that's why they ended up choosing him because he would be the hardest to even convince to do this with. So yeah, I guess that's maybe why they chose him. I guess for the context of this movie, it makes a little bit more sense as to why they chose him, I suppose. Because obviously she was trying to get her own social status boosted back up, right? Paget was. So it makes sense as to why she chose him, I suppose. But then as she gets introduced into his life, she actually ends up starting to fall in love with him. So then she could have told him what was going on when they were at his house the one time when he was showing her all of his photo room. She could have told him then, and I don't know why, in both of the movies, why they didn't just say what they were feeling at that point. But anyway, she runs away, and then all that happens between her and Alden, right, where she reveals the whole bet thing, and then Cameron gets mad, and so on and so forth. You know the story, if you've seen the movie. I think I've already kind of explained that point. So anyway, I gave this movie a 4 out of 10, which was slightly lower than the rating on IMDb, which was a 4.4 out of 10. So I mean, I guess around the same. Yeah, I just didn't think the writing was that great for this movie, and I would say the best actor, obviously, in this movie was Tanner, who played Cameron. Not to take away anything from the other actresses, but it kind of felt like just a YouTube movie. And who was Cameron's best friend? Oh, I guess it was Nisha. Was Anna Jacob was Cameron's best friend, who honestly I thought in the beginning of the movie was going to end up being his girlfriend, to be completely honest, because they were talking about traveling together and so on and so forth. But I guess she was gay, so she ends up hooking up with. I guess she ends up getting together with. Was it Quinn? I think. Who was. Yeah, who was Paget's other best friend. Now that I'm thinking about it, yeah, I'm pretty sure the two of them end up getting together. So yeah, I guess everybody kind of lives happily ever after the end of the movie. But yeah, 4 to 10 for this movie, and I guess we'll see you guys in the next review. Bye bye for now.